Our next guest says that the markets will be bombarded by policy news this week. Most of it, he says, will be noise, but there are some key events. Let's bring in Mohamed El-Erian. He is Allianz Chief Economic Advisor and President of Queen's College in Cambridge. Mohamed, what are the events that you think we'll hear outside of just the regular noise? What should we pay attention to?
To is the stimulus. But we're going to be bombarded by news about a few things. We're going to be bombarded news about projections, what the outlook is like. I can tell you these projections are out of date even before they hit our desks. Secondly, we're going to be bombarded by news about how it's important to move to fiscal policy, but the politics isn't there to allow that easily. And finally, we're going to be bombarded about news about we have to reduce the debt payments of developing countries. But that's not something that you can enforce on the private sector. So as much as that news is going to be what's going to be dominating, the only thing that matters this week is where do you get to on the stimulus talks?
You think we're actually going to make progress on that? I mean, I will admit I'm surprised by how far the administration has gone this morning with even including money for state and local governments to go ahead and say that they would put that in the package, even if it's not as much as the Democrats were looking for. Is there going to be a point where the Democrats just can't say no to the deal?
I mean, that's where they're being pushed into, that they're going to be looked at as being more and more unreasonable. You know, even if we get agreement, Becky, I don't know if we can get it through Congress in time. There isn't many.
That was my question too.
Yeah. So I don't
even if the Democrats get to that point, I think that they are getting painted into a corner where they're looking more and more unreasonable. But if they do eventually come to the table and say, OK, can you get the Senate to sign off on that, too? And if this is all that matters for the market, will the market ever look at this and say, oh, no, it's really not coming? Or is it just kind of coming in drips and drabs and we know this and it's been baked in?
The latter. I mean, the market believes it's going to come. It's a matter of time. The problem with the it's a matter of time argument is that there's ongoing damage to the economy every day. So it really does matter when this will come. I think what's interesting is that this market is completely behavioral. It wants to go up, and then it finds the narrative to justify why it's gone up. And the behavioral side is very simple. It has been reinforced to believe that liquidity is not just necessary, but sufficient for ever higher asset prices. So this market will look at whatever silver linings there are on the stimulus and extrapolate that.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.